Hi, Shiva. Good to see you, and thanks for giving the time to chat with me.
Yeah, good morning to you as well. It's I haven't met you in a while, so it's really good to catch up after all the lockdown and everything that we've all been under. So,
Thank you. So, I'm Venkatesh Sundar. I'm founder and CMO at InvestSpace. This is one of the many series of customer chat that we'll be having. Shiva, the founder and CTO from CXE Solutions, has been one of our customers for a long time. They are in the business of providing software and services to companies that provide health benefit administration and make the process of meeting the compliance and doing the claims easy. So Shiva, you might want to add some color on maybe correct the introduction I gave on your business and how it is going and how we are coping up with the new normal.
yep. So, in many ways, we're similar to you. We're taking away some other companies' headaches because they don't have the experts. Just like you take away our headache on in terms of security and stuff, because we are not the experts on it, whereas you are. We do the same thing on the compliance side. The U.S. Uh, health industry has a lot of compliance requirements, and most companies are not equipped to manage that. And so we provide software as a service as well as services to kind of help them with that so that they don't get into trouble with the IRS or the Department of Labor, etc., in meeting these compliance requirements related to healthcare. In terms of health benefits administration itself, the healthcare industry is probably the least affected in the current times, mostly because everyone continues to fall sick and consume healthcare. So we've been fortunate to be able to be in this business and help our clients while they go through some of the tough times that we're all facing right now. So in terms of our business, having said that, some of the compliance related to things we do are tied to employers of a certain size. Now, a lot of employers are struggling with their own business, so they're laying off people or they're going out of business, and so that indirectly does affect us in terms of the number of clients we have. So we're not really sure where we'll end up a year from now. We see a lot of new business, but we also see some old business going away. So I think it's up in the air as to what will happen. No, I think nobody knows where we're going to
Absolutely.
be a year from now. So
Thing I can predict now is stop doing any prediction at least for the next 6 months.
exactly. So we just try to continue to help our clients and hope they do well and make it easy for them, so they don't have to worry too much about this aspect of their business.
Yeah, I'm going to pick a couple of points you mentioned, very interesting points. Number one is you mentioned that compliance and these are big driver, especially in the US where you are based and operating in. Now, are you addressing security proactively before the customer asks? Or are you seeing that your customers are willing to do business with you only if you address or show to them that you're taking care of the security of the data?
Good question. So actually, from day one, the entire healthcare industry has very strict regulations related to privacy and security. And so security is not a choice for us. It's a requirement. Before I can even get a customer, I have to go through what I call security audits and all that. And part of that is to show that I am managing security to the best of my abilities. And that's why I bring companies such as yours to help me, because I'm not the expert in some of these areas. And these are things that keep changing on a daily basis. The number of ways that you get hacked continuously changes, right? And it's impossible for someone like me to either hire an expert, which is expensive, and I'm too small to do that. It's a lot more economical and I think more efficient for me to hire experts such as yours to kind of take care of things for me and then help me manage my security needs and manage the data of my client and the privacy of my client's data.
Excellent. I think it's a very interesting shift that I'm seeing happening because large enterprises have security budgets and they have in-house teams, and probably what they are looking to do is how to do a lot of the things themselves. Whereas small companies or smaller, I wouldn't say small companies, but companies we are starting off with big aspirations. even though currently they are smaller in size, they are willing to pay for somebody else to do the job because they don't have the time. And it's a very interesting where the managed services piece is valued by
Yes.
SMB segment more than the enterprise segment. Would you agree with that?
Oh, agreed, agreed. And that's where most of our business is with that kind of clients, these small to medium-sized companies that cannot afford to hire their own lawyers and stuff to deal with compliance. They hire us to do that work for them.
Yeah.
Similar to what I'm doing with you, I'm hiring you to do my security work for me.
Excellent, excellent. Had I been based in US, I am pretty sure I would come to CXC for any kind of claims and health benefit administration as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and we do the same in terms of whether it's marketing automation or whether it is my CRM systems. I
Exactly.
go to other SaaS companies who would provide that to me.
Yep.
Uh, you also mentioned a very interesting point, Shiva, that uh, on one hand, healthcare as a segment and the space that you're operating in the long run is going to be winner. You are currently grappling with churn on your existing customer base, right?
Correct. Correct.
I just want to know from your point of view, what are all the verticals from your customer base who value about it, where you see growth? Of course, there's going to be some churn on existing customer base, which is what I'm facing through. But I do know in the long run, digital is going to win. Security, hence, will also be a winner.
Correct. Yeah, I think the industries that are the most affected from what we've seen are retail. Malls are closed, shops are closed, so retail's really hit big time. Travel is hit big time. But companies that are not as much affected are ones that are either in the software business or services business, even if it is running a franchise, let's say, of McDonald's or Donut King, or one of those franchises that are very prevalent and are still open. They may be shut down for people to come in and sit down and eat, but there's a lot of takeaway kind of orders that they still service. So they do have staff for that, and they are affected by compliance requirements and things like that. So those are areas where we think our clients that are not affected. But clients that are affected are people that are running, let's say, a store, which is selling clothes and again, even in that, there are segments that are still working fine. It's some of the niche areas like fashion and others that are more affected than because people are not going out, so they don't need to buy pretty clothes anymore, but they need basic clothes, obviously. So it just depends. I mean, we're really not sure, and I can't really find a pattern today, so to speak, as to where things are because we haven't seen any churn. We think there'll be churn, but we haven't quite seen the churn yet, just to be clear. I think the only time we'll find out is beginning of next year because our health plans and all are designed to be annual. So usually the enrollment and all starts in October and you really know where things are somewhere in the January timeframe. But that's just the nature of our business. So we won't really know until then.
Okay. So in my case, yeah, I have not really seen churn in the enterprise segment, which was the foundation based on which is
Correct.
our as well. We built the product for the enterprise. So the large enterprise, the bank, the large e-commerce, even if they have a thing, they are big enough to be able to sustain through this. I don't
Correct.
see any problems there, and I'm able to retain them as well. I do see churn in the SMB segment,
Mhm.
where and the reason for that is they are not able to sustain themselves through this period when their
Correct.
cash flow and their business itself is not going on. So it is tough to go through that, and I mean, a customer is a customer, right? But at the same time, those churn is countered by new demands, new applications, new services that are being launched. So my
Mhm.
growth of new acquisition is sort of compensating the churn risk I'm having in the short term.
Correct. Correct.
Having said that, both you and me, Shiva, at least are privileged to be in a sector where we can go through this period and at least still talk about growth, still talk about making money,
Mhm.
whereas there are many who are not in the situation.
Yeah.
So on that front, let me ask you, given the current situation and given that you are using us, you did give some good feedback on the good things we do. what are some of the things you believe as a managed security provider and web application security that you think as a customer you think we can do better, or you're just happy and it's a check mark?
No, no, there's always room for improvement, and I'm not shy of giving you guys improvement as you've known me for many years. I think the places where and it's parallel to what we do to our own customers, right? We started in one area of compliance and we expanded our portfolio to cover all the different needs, and we continue to do that as we talk to our clients and find that, oh, there's a gap in some specific area of their company related to compliance. The idea is to become a one shop to get all of your needs covered. And I think that's the feedback I'd give to you is continue to expand your I guess security coverage in terms of either advice or in terms of actual action, and not restrict yourself to just, 20% of my needs or 50% of my needs. I don't know what I need in some ways, right? Because I'm uneducated in the area of security. So educate me and all your clients and tell us what we should be doing better, what we can be doing better, and provide us the software, the tools, the services, the advice, all those things to help us protect our clients better.
Fantastic. I think one key takeaway for me is in the enterprise segment, the entire breeding ground for innovation is talk to the customer. Talk to the customer and find out what they need. What I'm finding out in the SMB segment is you are spending your brains and cycles on growing your business.
Correct.
So we tell you what you need more than asking you what we have to tell you this is what you need as opposed to you telling us what you need, right?
Exactly.
As an expert. So certainly a very good point and very relevant, especially for the SMB segment. And we have the enterprise segment, and we can bring those feedbacks as best practices that the SMBs who do not have the time to execute on as well.
That's exactly what I was going to say is that, the lessons you're learning, and you may not be doing all of it for your enterprise clients because they have their own in-house team, but you have access to them. You can see what they do, and you can take ideas from that, take things that you've come across that you see that we don't do and we should be doing, and tell us about it and help us do it. Is of course, one thing is to just tell us you need to do this, but the other thing is to actually walk us through it or help us do those things.
Excellent. Thanks, Shiva. On that note, I really appreciate your time here. As I said, as a closing note, we both are very privileged to be in a situation where you're talking about growth and customers. But appreciate your business, appreciate your feedback, and certainly looking forward to take this partnership to the next level as well.
Absolutely. Great talking to you, Venki. So.